Hello everyone, Brian from Crary. Today we're going to go over preparing your Crary wind system for storage. First thing you want to do is make sure to get as much dust or debris off of your machine so you can inspect it. You can either use an air wand or use a pressure washer. Be very careful when using a pressure washer around your gearbox and seals, but that way you can get the debris off and you can actually see if there's a leak or a problem. Step 2 is to inspect the rotor. To properly check your rotor, remove the right half of the rotor housing and open up the system. We're going to take this side of the rotor housing off so we can inspect the rotor. There's 12 9/16 bolts. You need a 9/16 wrench and an impact. Now I've got almost all my bolts taken off around here. I've got a small bolt that I need to remove that's on my indicator arm. This will make it so I can pull the butterfly valve out along with this side of the housing so we can get an inside look at the rotor and the housings. So now we've got the outer casing off, and I'm going to go through and I want to check out first to see if there's any missing fins on the rotor. You'll see they'll actually just kind of break out if they're gone. I'm looking for any wear on the surface edges to see. As you can see, this one actually has a little bit of a dented one right there. I would replace this so that I make sure that this works the way it should. Over here I have a couple examples. Here we have a used section. You can see in this area how thin these blades have gotten, and you can even see where the dirt, dust, and debris has worn away from the fan. If you have sharpening of your fins, replace it so that you don't have any downtime during the harvest season. This is a newer section with our laser cladding on the edge. You can see that the edge is good all the way through. You can see that it's not sharpened to a knife point. So now on this side, I'm going to take a look at my rotor housing and just make sure that there's no worn edges. A lot of times you'll see it from the dust and debris. You'll get a worn kind of groove into these casings. If you start seeing that, replace your casings, because once there's a hole in it, your wind system will not perform the way it's supposed to. With this housing off also, we're going to check the fan blades. Make sure that there's no missing blades, no broken blades, no chunked out blades. And of course, we want to check, there's a bearing inside of here and a bearing on the outside. This should spin freely. After we get these few things fixed up, we're going to get everything put back together. We'll do it in reverse order of what we did to take it apart. For now, on to step 3. In this step, we're going to check the fan and the bearings. That's easy to do. You can give it a spin. You shouldn't hear any creaks or anything. There's 2 bearings, one located on the outside and one located on the inside. You're going to make sure that there's no holes in your outside fan cover and that there's no dents which can slow it down as it rotates. Once everything checks out here, make sure to check your screen cleaner inside. This should be 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch away from the outside screen to make sure that it can give a vacuum break so the debris will drop out of the way. Check your gearbox to make sure the shafts rotate freely and listen for any unusual sounds or excessive play. Check that the breather valve to make sure it is clear to prevent potential oil seal leaks. Now is also a great time to perform an oil change on the gearbox. The oil should be changed every year or 500 hours for optimum performance. Be sure to check out our other quick tip video on changing the oil in your gearbox. If your system is equipped with the black Series 1 gearbox, now is also a great time to check any other drive shafts, flanges, or bearings to make sure they move freely also. Check the castings for thinning or wear on the inside. Over time, debris in the air can erode these components. If they look worn, replacing them now will help prevent air leaks and ensure efficient operation. While inspecting the castings, take a look at the flexible tubes and manifolds as well. Look for any holes or damage and replace any worn parts. Air leaks reduce efficiency and force the system to work harder, which can put unnecessary strain on your gearbox. Once the rotor and fan housing are inspected and everything checks out, you can reassemble the components. Be sure to torque the casting bolts to ensure a secure fit. Now let's move on to the PTO system. You want to inspect the yokes and crosses for any signs of wear or damage, the slip disc for any excessive wear or broken pieces. Check out our quick tip video on setting your slip clutch and the detailed inspection process. Inspect your electrical system. Check all wiring for any cuts or wear caused by friction. Test the remote and in-cab control box to ensure that everything is functioning properly. Look for any binding and movement and inspect the slides and saddle guides for wear. If these components are in poor condition, they can affect actuator performance and should be replaced. Also, take a moment to inspect your drop tubes. Look for any cracks or loose bolts that may have occurred during operation. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our Crary YouTube page for other quick tip videos to help you learn about your wind system.